Just do your own time. You serve your sentence in your head. There ain't no finish line. Call no man happy till he's dead. There's a pressure behind my soul. I can feel it in my bones. There's a storm coming.
All right, and welcome. I am Michael. Pronouns are he, him, and I will be GMing Ars Magica. If we want to go down and introduce ourselves, I will get us back in place because someone moved.
I'm Sarah. I will be playing Beryl Galanis, a grog who is an artist.
Hello, I am she, her, and today I will be playing Giselle, also she, her. She is just a companion and is haunted a little bit by a lot of stuff.
Hi, I'm Steve. I'm going to be playing the Magi Xaldin. Xaldin is a interesting individual. He has a pet tiger named Cassie. And we will learn more as I play him.
And I will be playing Seva Ligia, using the spy archetype.
Nice. If you want to throw that name in the Discord chat, I will put that up onto the overlay. All right, so we are playing Ars Magica. This is Reign of Spring. This is our 5th session. We are actually now introducing the final mage. The next session will be all 4 of the mages together. This is a troop style game, which means we do not always have every single, like all the mages together in a single session. It'll often be one mage, one companion, and then other people playing grogs. Grogs are a large pool that anybody can choose from. And there will be times it'll be all mages. There'll be times it'll also be all grogs. Let me just a moment put this here. So far, does someone want to give what your record is so far for helping people and doing all the good out there in the world as you go from place to place?
The premise of the game is not go world and help people. The premise of the game is be a wizard. And sometimes a town gets in the way of us being wizards. Did we set out to destroy a town?
We haven't killed every town we've come across. We saved a whole bunch of people from a town and brought them with us. We adopted them.
Survivors.
They're a foster town.
To be fair, you're correct. Lear did not cause the destruction of that town.
Fairies were attacking. She saved their lives. If she had left with them, yeah, you could say it's 100% so far. But no, we didn't kill them. We saved them.
I mean, a lot of them did stay, though, and die.
However, a lot of people have died, but we haven't killed that many people.
And
Salim actually did. Salim
killed a lot of people. Yeah, okay, but like not that many in the grand scheme of things. What, like a couple dozen soldiers?
I mean, the Black Plague is coming up in like a couple hundred years. That's like...
How many people would have died if that doctor had kept on lopping off arms? We don't know. It's impossible to say.
If anything, when you and Penn meet, she's going to be like, you killed how many horses? What did the horses do?
Did you hear me?
They were being ridden.
That is a problem. Okay, so this is the first time we're going to have someone at the Covenant. The Covenant is what we all created before we even started streaming this. This is basically home base for these mages. This is where they will be making spells, magic items, and learning things, and while they are going about the things that they are wanting to pursue, because these mages right now are just out of apprenticeship, and we will between this time and next time there'll be like a 2-year skip where they'll have an opportunity to learn stuff and do things. So this your covenant is kind of on the coast. There is like a road going past it. You're near the ancient city of Demetrius. Like sort of a road between there and I'd have to look at one of the other maps, which I don't think I pulled the one that had all the stuff here. But like basically on kind of a major road that goes between large port cities. You also have the right to kind of take things through to get tolls and such as people go through this particular area. And you have a gigantic marble mine, a legendary, makes you all super rich. So you are the first one to have arrived at the Covenant. There are the people who are there. Like the things are kind of basically starting back up with this, with the mine and everything. You have met the Pegasus Riders, because you have here, you have a group of both veteran soldiers and you have Pegasus Riders as part of the Covenant. And part of your thing right now is just kind of getting set up for everything that's been going on. Real quick, do you want to give a quick introduction for how you see both of the Grogs here? Because these will be people that probably will have met Xaldin relatively early. It's also important to note Xaldin is a mage, kind of like Salim, whose gift is called the Gentle Gift. So instead of making people and animals afraid of them, they actually can deal with regular people, which is something that is more difficult for most Magi.
Okay. So physical description of Xaldin, he is average height. He has long black hair that is in a ponytail. He has a beard about as rough as mine currently is, and it is also black. He has kind of a build like he's kind of a wild person, but he's got an aura of like, I don't even know how to put it properly. He looks like he should be in the woods, but he's not, and it doesn't seem out of place that he isn't, but he should be. As far as the Grogs, I don't know. I'd say he's very much.
Oh, sorry.
What?
I thought you were going to describe the Grogs. I would have them do it. But
No. He's a people person. He's inspirational. He likes to talk to people. I think he's just happy that people are around him at this point.
All right.
Nice.
And for Giselle?
For physical appearance, Giselle has like very red hair, and it kind of like a lot of times it's just covering the eyes. Not always, but a lot of it. She usually keeps her hair up into a bun, so that she can like throw a quill in there and in a pinch. I think she's like very put together. Like I think she's very highly paid amongst the companions because she does a lot of work. And I think she spends that money on she saves some, but like she spends a lot of money on clothes, and she dresses very neatly. But yeah, that is her, and she's always kind of like she was always walking somewhere like someone summoned her in like who's that one guy who does all those TV shows about like the West Wing or something? The guy who does all the
Aaron Sorkin.
like mud. Yeah, she's always in like an Aaron Sorkin medieval moment. Even when it's like, there's no, I was supposed to say potatoes. We're not in a potatoes world. We're out of turnips. This is not my job, but I'm going to fix it.
And Ibrahim, I just sent you something on Zoom chat. So as you are arriving, we'll say the first person they meet will be Beryl, as they have made their way in. And Siva or Seva? Seva will be able to kind of come in partway through. You've been essentially scouting out areas around just to see what is going on with some of the Demetrius and some of the other places that are nearby.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So we'll start with Beryl. You see essentially you've got the caravan coming in. I'm assuming Xaldin, are you like the head of it? Like now that you've arrived at the place where the Covenant will be?
Yeah, and he always has his tiger right beside him when he's coming into a place. So Cassie is right there. Yeah, he's walking, leading. He's probably talking to Giselle. He's probably talking to Giselle quite a bit.
Okay.
But yes, it's I would say it's a good thing that we're finally here, wouldn't you?
I would say it's a very good thing.
Indeed. Well, introduce us.
Sorry, Sarah, what was your character's name again?
Errol.
Xaldin. Oh, whoops.
Xaldin, I believe this is Mr. Barrel.
Miss Sparrow.
Oh, sorry, my apologies. Miss Barrel.
Hello,
Ah,
Mr. Xaldin.
it is pleasant to meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you too. It's so wonderful you're here.
Well, tell me about the place. How's it going?
Well, the weather has been very cold, and but we've all kept in line doing our jobs.
Did you send out a memo to everyone regarding the not bothering the tiger when she's here?
Sorry. I can
No problem.
try. I can try.
No problem. I will take care of it.
So just so you know, Beryl's an artist, and no one can like really figure out what she's saying when she's talking. So even if she tries to tell people don't bother the tiger, it's probably going to have the opposite effect.
Okay.
Okay. And so you were in charge of greeting us?
Yes.
Who put you in charge of that? Do you mind letting me know who their name was?
The man, tallish, but not so tall, but shortish, and he
Okay, and he understood that the Magi was coming today, right? Not just like some person, like the Magi? One of the
yes.
Magi?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
All right. Giselle, you're being quite unfair to our friend here. You're doing a wonderful job. Don't worry about my friend here. She's very
Thank you, sir.
dots her I's and crosses her T's and all of that.
Oh,
Now,
I understand completely, sir. Yes.
Do you know the man's name that told you to greet us?
Yes.
What is the name?
Paul.
Paul. Can you take us to him?
Yes. So she does successfully lead you to the person. His name is not Paul. Who would have been the grog who instructed me to?
Let's go
Would
with.
that have been me? No.
You're probably on your way back in. We'll say it's Stevens.
Stevens. Ah, yes, he. Hello, sir. The Magi,
No.
Xaldin, and Gazelle.
When this comes by, you see, you see that Stevens is going around and he is putting locks on, like, a bunch of doors for like houses and such. And they're also shutting in windows and things like that.
Have we come at a bad time?
Kind of just takes a look up and goes, "Oh, greetings. Sorry. We knew you were coming here soon. We're just getting ready. It's the full moon."
Ah, yes, they told us about that. I told you, Xaldin.
Did you?
Remember when I said that we shouldn't stop, that we were going the wrong way?
We were not going the wrong way. We were going precisely in the direction that we needed to go to arrive here at this very moment.
So
we were supposed to be here 3 days ago so that we wouldn't arrive on the full moon.
It's fine that you're here on the full moon. Most of those are of an age go into the forests in the evening. We let them back in the morning. However, we do have some that are quite young, and even a wolf pup can be a problem. So we're just making sure that they have a place where they're able to be. Some of the parents will be outside waiting for the moon to go down so they can make sure their children are okay. But we're going to have to make sure they're not able to go all throughout the complex, particularly considering and he kind of looks back and you can see all of the places where they had mined all of like a whole bunch of marble. Rumor had it that this place was actually one of the places where the labyrinth of Crete was created. Like a lot of the marble and such was taken from there. And so as he's looking back, he's like, it'd be a lot easier if we didn't have to worry about them getting lost and finding them, because children can't find their way back.
Well, to be fair, to be very fair, not you can get lost real easily in these times. Not just children get lost. I mean, other people can get lost too. It's very common.
Just kind of like doesn't know what to say to that.
So the point, would Xaldin have already known about the lycanthropy?
You'd have been told that it's there, that it's something that they've been dealing with. That's something you're aware of.
Okay. So the rumor that I was told was that children born here are born with the curse.
I mean, those who came here from other places have not been affected by it, but the children, yes. And we have a good amount of people here who've been living in this area for quite some time, and it's something they've learned to deal with.
Has it ever been tested to have people maybe go and give birth outside of city lines?
I'm not certain we've... I can look into it. I don't believe there's been any sort of experiment and such done. We don't know where any of this would stop or how far it could go and keep them safe.
Well, seeing that it is the full moon, we should probably proceed onward to wherever it is me and my troop will be staying.
Oh, certainly. There's as he's kind of like taking you through, there's a place with labs and such. This had been used once long ago, but has not actually been occupied for quite some time, especially with mages. But there are some places that were workshops and such. Seva, on your way back in, as you're kind of coming back, you can see the large caravan has arrived. At least one of the Magi are here. You've heard about mages. You've never met one. They're quite rare. You may have whatever, like, either worries, concern, or if you're gonna, however you want to approach it. You're aware that one of them has arrived.
Gotcha. Who looks the most important in the group? Like, who's dressed the best? Who's the biggest? Who's the coolest?
Giselle is probably dressed the best, but
the guy with the tiger will probably at least.
Yeah, the guy with the tiger.
The guy with the tiger.
So I'm sorry. Is the tiger just like at your side, like leashed? Is that?
No, it's not leashed. It's just there, and it's kind of alarming that nobody's mentioned it.
Okay.
Well, I would say it's one of those things they were probably warned about, but like you've definitely seen a lot of people like staring as the tiger comes through. But it is like a lot of people are also using the opportunity to get out of the way because there's a lot of nerves with their new bosses essentially arriving.
Yeah. Also, it says in the write-up the tiger is intelligent, and I have animal ken, so I can actually talk to it.
Yeah.
So it's
because you just turn once while I go. He's very funny. It's hard. It doesn't translate, but it's very funny.
I think Seva goes, like, looks at the group, does a quick scan, and then says, "All right then." And then I'm gonna go over to the tiger and be like, "Sir Magi, I've heard a lot about you."
You
looking down at the tiger.
No, this is not the Magi. This is the Magi.
Right, I see. Bit of deception in it.
Who might you be?
Seveligia at your service. Pleasure to meet your acquaintance. I've got some information that the Magi might need.
Well, considering you're speaking to the Magi, I would say that you can relay that information at any time you see fit.
Another long conspiratorial wink. Right. There's been this holy man, a priest of some sort. He's been going around trying to bless stuff. blessing the woods, blessing random fields. He's just trying to. It seems like he's trying to bless an area for the people to grow some stuff, for them to clear cut, burn it all, clear away all the trees and whatnot.
Might
All right.
you know about where this priest would be?
You know, would probably be from if someone's going around like this, there's a very good chance. And what you've been told, they've been sent by the Lord of Demetrius. Demetrius is the closest city to where you're at.
No specifics, but Lord Demetrius is probably sending him about. He's been wandering town to town, village to village.
Interesting. Well, if you happen to hear of this priest coming here and blessing the area around here, you are to let me know immediately.
The one thing you'd be aware of, Steve, the Theban Tribunal that you are all in has more, basically has a lot more magical activity. There's like this is a place where people are used to sometimes dealing with magical creatures. It's not like an everyday thing, but it's definitely happened. It is one of those things where if a priest is going into a place that there's a good chance if they're trying to essentially get rid of the magical aura so they can go into a place and maybe set up a divine aura, there might be some kickback and probably some destruction that goes along with it. That could become a problem magically in these areas.
Okay. All right. Well, like I said, it's very important that if this priest comes around here, you're to let me know that he's here, because he could be disrupting the magical aura of this place, and that could cause catastrophe.
Why'd you say cat like that? Is it because of the tiger?
It's just the way I say
Catastrophe.
catastrophe.
Oh. Thought it was a pun. I like puns.
You're catty, aren't you?
That was a pun. Oh,
Yes,
good.
yes, indeed, that was a pun. So, any other information did you need to relay, or was that it?
There's centaurs about Mount Pelion.
I believe I was briefed on that. Giselle, was I briefed on that?
You were briefed on it.
See, if you have any real questions about what I know, she knows.
Roger that.
All right. Just continuing the tour of the place.
Okay. They go through, they show you some places that you're able to kind of like, it'll take a while to get everything set up, but you get like quarters for everybody, and there's a point where Stevens returns and it's like, it is perfectly safe within this covenant at night. We're going to close the doors to make sure that those that are, and like this point you actually see a bunch of the people live there have like put on robes, like fairly light robes, and are walking out of, because it's a natural fortress, so they're walking out of kind of the gates across the not necessarily huge, but like narrow if someone were trying to like invade or something, through the bridge to the natural bridge to the rest of the continent, essentially. They're heading out there and they're walking towards the woods that are like essentially across from it. There's a place where it sort of comes down because there's large like rocky outcroppings that would make it so that there's not a ton of people can go abreast on that road, because they're gonna hit the rocky outcroppings that go up a decent height. And you see them starting to make their way towards the forest. And you're seeing people from kind of as young as 10 or so up to like you're seeing maybe 30s walking their way into the woods. And Stevens goes, "We shut the gate, and in the morning they all return. We will have, some people here making sure that the children and such are going to be safe. And there are some people who are essentially ready to kind of be outside of some of the doors, waiting for the moon to go on its way, so that once it's down and the children might transform, back, they can go in and make sure that they're safe. They've all got keys and such to get into these houses.
It seems as if you've got this all figured out.
This is not a new problem for us, sir. This is one of the strange things about where we're here.
So they just go into the woods and then they come back and there's never any issues?
We've never had one. I mean, they go, they hunt, come back in the morning, perfectly fine. We've very, very rarely, it's been many years since any of them disappeared. Often they'll hunt as a very large pack.
I assume they all turn into wolves then.
Yes.
There's no deviation from that.
This is a place of wolves.
Interesting.
Well, I mean, also, I've seen many different were animal in my day. None of them are bear by any chance, or
None of the ones here. This is whatever happens here. It is wolves.
blessed by the moon.
You may think a blessing, many consider it a curse. But we live. The old ways still have a little bit of a hold. I'm hoping that doesn't offend all of you, but realizing the situation in which we live in, some of the old gods are still looked to.
Well, we'll just have to deal with that as it comes then. Anyway, so about what time do you lock the doors?
As soon as the last is left. And, essentially the guards know they're keeping a tally.
Okay. Has there ever been one that was like a malcontent and didn't want to leave?
Everyone here knows that staying here just puts other people at danger. They're the children to watch for. That would be... Someone like that wouldn't last. There's been none in my lifetime.
And how long have you been here?
I'm 27.
Interesting.
As we were walking around, many people had quite a lot of hardware on the outside of their homes. So
Yes.
I imagine even if someone was roaming the street, it would. I mean, the chances wouldn't be zero, but it would. I don't imagine people are out at the bars on the full moon.
We've adjusted to life the way it has to be here. That is not a problem. Apano Maria is... It is what it is. We've had this for quite some time. There is nothing open on the full moon.
Fair enough. Steve, does Cassie know to play gently with me, or is she just like, or if she gets in a playful mood, is she just gonna go all out?
I feel like Xaldin has made it very clear that people can pet her, but don't get her riled up.
Okay, then I'm not gonna do what I was gonna do.
Yeah, he can control her. Nobody else can.
Okay.
Well, maybe another mage if they had the magic, but...
Seva, Beryl, is there anything you two are doing while they're getting all their stuff kind of ready?
Sarah, you mute.
I don't think so. I can't think of anything. I think I'm just watching the proceedings.
Same.
Okay. So yeah, as everyone kind of settles in for the night, Beryl, you're kind of up by the gates at one point. It's not unusual. People just kind of take a look. As you're looking out, there's some strange flashes of light coming from the forest across the way.
Am I standing guard?
You're not standing guard, but being up there, it's not an unusual thing. It's early in the season, so it's a nice night. And it's people. It's a fairly common thing for people here to watch on the evenings or to head up, and things haven't happened, but things could. So there's still sort of a superstitious need. There's a lot of people will be on the walls, just keeping an eye as much as possible.
Call to the person closest to me on the wall. Excuse me.
Seva.
Do you see that? Do you see that as well?
I'll see it. Or do I?
Yeah.
No.
This is
Yeah.
weird because like you've all been up here a lot of times. You never sort of see anything. Seva, you have seen something like this before. Um, there was some bandits and such that had gone too deep into the woods at a different place, and you kind of been sent to sort of spy on them, and they upset some of the Fae and such in the area, and their destruction was pretty complete. You managed to escape, but there was quite a light show that evening in the forest.
All right. Could be bandits.
Should we tell somebody?
Or the mages won't be bothered.
Oh, I suppose.
Probably.
Oh.
Tell you what, you go tell the mages. I'll keep an eye out.
All right, I will. As I run down, do I know where the mages' rooms are?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Stuff is probably still being set up, and there's going to be like torches and stuff there. You've been around here enough that you can kind of get along without having to worry too much about. You don't have to worry about direction and such, where things are at. That'll be much more of a problem for the newcomers to get used to for a bit. So yeah, you know there's a bunch of abandoned buildings.
I come to one of the mages to the door where they're moving in. I'm like, hello,
Yes. Beryl, wasn't it?
yes. I was on the wall and I saw lights off the wall in the forest. Flashing lights.
Interesting. Is that common?
No, not that I know of.
But all right. Take me to the wall, and then go get Stevens.
So I lead Xaldin to the wall where it was before.
Xaldin is actually like talking to his tiger on the way there, just like, all right, I know it's late, but we're going to have to deal with something apparently.
Oh, it's not so late.
I was talking to Cassie.
I didn't see another girl here.
Look down.
Oh, the tiger. Yes.
Cassie. Her name is Cassie.
Cassie. That's lovely. And then I take him to the wall. Are the lights still flashing out there?
There's a few more happening there. Yes.
See?
More of them now.
Go get Stevens, as I said, Beryl, and bring him here pronto. And
yes,
also, get Giselle. Do you remember her from earlier? The one that was with me, that was told me everything. Yeah, get her as well.
Giselle,
I run off.
Your Curse of Venus is always a good time, as Stevens has been around trying to help. It's like, no, if there's anything you need help with, if you want to see some of what we have here in the Covenant, that would be, I could show you around.
That would be helpful. Thank you.
And he just sort of awkwardly is sort of standing there about the time when Beryl shows up.
Hello, you're both here. Good. I came to get both of you. There are lights flashing up in the forest, and I am concerned.
Sure. You know what?
And the Magi told me to gut you, both of you.
Lead with that, Beryl. Lead with that.
Okay.
Giselle is off. She's sprinting down the hallway. One, to get away with from Stevens, and two, because I think she wouldn't be fired, but like, I'm supposed to keep track of him.
Yep. Seva, you're up there with Xaldin.
Yes. What's going on? Oh, okay. So there's no change in the lights yet.
Like you're seeing, it's irregular flashes. It's something's happening in there. Like this is, again, this is probably not due to any of your people, because your people have been going in for years and nothing like this has ever occurred.
But I don't know who it would be.
Correct. Your only thing is you've seen like the Fae and such attack bandits in the past and seen something similar to this.
Okay. Could be the Fae and bandits going at it again.
Is that a common thing out there?
More and more.
Michael, Xaldin looking at this, would he have any idea if this is like magical or not magical?
Make a take a look. It's the thing is, it's definitely something magical because there's nothing normal that does something like this.
Okay.
As far as kind of which, let's double check. Oh, wrong one. Go ahead and do you have arcane lore?
I have no
Go ahead, roll
I don't.
intelligence.
Intelligence. Boom. Simple or stress?
Simple.
Good. Beautiful. Boom. I got a big old whopping 4.
Okay. As you're sort of like looking out there, you're not sure what it is. The thing is, though, it doesn't seem like how Fae tend to work too much. Something magical, but not Fae. It's doubtful this is a mage, simply because Magi are more efficient than whatever is happening out here.
Okay. Well, I don't think it has anything to do with the Fae. This does not seem like something they would do. And it's definitely not Magi. We're more tactful in our approach. So, have you seen this before, it seems?
I've seen it before. Looks a bit strange, I'll admit.
Should we be concerned with the people that are out? Well, they're not people currently. Should we be concerned with the citizens that are out there? Or for them?
What, the bandits? Oh, no, you mean like the
The
farmers. Oh. Do you care
the
about
people
them?
that we let out?
Do you care about them?
Of course I care about them. They live here. They're under my purview, of course.
I don't know. You're my age. We're little folk.
Listen, just because some mages look at all of you as if you're lesser does not mean that we all do.
Usually they just hurt the bandits. Sometimes there's collateral.
As Giselle and Beryl make their way up there, the lights seem to stop flashing, at least for the moment.
Is Stevens with them?
He's kind of heading on his way up.
Well, it seems they've stopped whatever it was. Giselle,
Yes.
there were flashing lights in the forest. They were...
Okay.
It looked magical, like something was happening. So do the thing you do when I tell you stuff.
Would you like me to research, or you want me to prepare a horse so we can go investigate?
Well, we're not going out there in the middle of the night. I'm going to tell you that. There are monsters, well, people out there in animal form. We will investigate in the morning and research if possible.
Fair enough. Stevens, lead me to the library.
Certainly, goes through and shows you. I will say this is so far outside of your. This is so far outside of anything you would know. You could spend the whole night at the library. You are not really going to find anything that could narrow any of this stuff down.
I look for 15 minutes, and then I go to sleep, because he's not checking on this.
No. Xaldin is gonna look at Beryl and Seva and be like, and what do the two of you do exactly? You, Seva, you seem like you're some kind of scout or something. And Beryl, I've yet to figure out what it is you do.
Well, I paint.
You paint.
Yes. I paint.
Oh, like art and all of that. Oh,
I'm quite good. I can paint you if you like.
we might have to do that at some point,
I
but
can paint the tiger.
let's not paint Cassie. She
No,
she
I can make a picture of the tiger. I can paint the tiger in a portrait.
Oh, whatever. Yes. So, Seva, back to you. What is it you do?
Scout's a good way to put it. Steal stuff. Steal people. Tell lies.
Ah,
Write
So-
stuff down.
so you're a
occasionally.
malcontent. Good. We need someone like you. So, in the morning, I assume you can help us discover whatever that was.
Sure. If there's anyone willing to talk, I could find him.
I meant you know the woods,
Okay.
right?
Next morning.
I don't.
I
think
am
have any
outside
wood knowledge.
and with horses for 3 people.
No, I don't have any wood knowledge.
Michael, I have a question.
Hmm.
Was the lights coming on in the forest where like our werewolves had traveled to?
I mean, that's where they always go. But like you're saying, like, these flashes of light. The thing is, it's never happened before. Out there. Is anyone doing anything before the morning?
I think I like make like I grab like a bag full of breakfast and I wake the only 3 people that I know aside from Stevens, and I'm just like, all right, up to Daisy before first light. Come on.
Is that the rest of us?
Yeah. I'm assuming.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so we are going into.
Errol,
the
I don't
woods
know what you do, but come on, get on a horse.
Oh, okay.
You must know the area a little
we're,
bit.
We're
Something.
I
We're
don't. I
gonna-
don't.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry.
I don't travel a lot.
Do you have someone else in mind? Because
No. I suppose I can go.
good. Wonderful.
Zal-
See, you're becoming all kinds of things.
Xaldin's gonna come out, looks kind of disheveled. He's like, Has the moon gone down yet? I'm not going out there until the people are people.
It's morning. Good enough. Come on.
Okay.
And I think I sneak Cassie like half of a chicken. Good girl. Up early.
Seva, I believe you can lead us to where that that was.
I can take you over there. Yeah.
Okay. Mhm.
No, go ahead.
What were we gonna say?
I was just going to say that I do not have any wood skills, but that is fine. I can probably still get the. I saw a thing in the distance. I'm sure I can get to the thing that I saw in the distance.
Okay. I'm just to check. Okay, did you bring Seva up into the current grogs?
Oh, is it? Should I?
Yeah, we just want to make a copy,
Current
make a
grogs,
copy, and
current
then
grogs.
take them up there.
I put them in Story Grog's Prologue to Spring. Where is current grogs?
Okay, that'll be here. Let me move you. Let me move you both up. The current grog. These will be ones that are with the covenant. So as we create these will kind of remain. So you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see it.
You won't have a problem here as you make your way in. As you go through, you find a place in the forest where there are a number of bodies kind of gathered around. Some of them are it looks like flame had hit some of them. The weird thing is there's a place in the middle where there's what looks to be the body of a priest, not the one that you've seen kind of going around. This is one of the locals. This is from one of the smaller local villages. But the priest with also a number of looks like elders from a couple of the villages that have come out in this area. While there's like places that have been burnt, things that have been shattered, while the priest himself is dead and appears to have been like stabbed through the chest, there is an area around the priest that is unburnt and untouched in other ways.
Michael, granted, I don't know what stat this would be, but I'm assuming I know my own body well enough that like maybe I could see someone else who was like part Fey or full Fey and be like, that ain't right. You too are part Fey or full Fey.
For like what the body of the priest or something.
Yeah.
You
In
might
case
think,
he's like a face. I mean, I don't
the
know
thing
about
is
the faceless people, but
you
in case he's
you might
faceless.
think that you would not have been in a position necessarily to know. Steve will know.
Okay.
Xaldin, priests have like true faith, which means they have a divine aura. Like it's often a small one unless they're relatively high up, but divine aura does sort of wreak havoc with other sorts of auras. Like basically, it's magic protection that they have, and very likely what was happening here is this priest had at least enough to ward off some of the other attacks until he got stabbed in the chest. The others were not. The others who were not near him were not so lucky. You're seeing burnt, like some of them burnt, others ripped apart.
Xaldin's just looking over like all the charring and all the corpses. He just like kind of looks up and looks at the three of you. He's like, "This is why people should stay in their cities and their towns and not come out here into the wild. They don't belong out here."
It is difficult when you are a wolf, though, sir.
I don't believe these were. Oh, are these the ones that were like lycanthropes?
No, everyone else, because like the sun goes down before the moon goes down before the sun's completely up. Everyone is accounted for.
These were not the lycanthropes. These were just people that were out here for whatever reason. Need to make sure I let the surrounding villages know to stay out of the woods. Anyway, would there be any way to tell like what they were fighting, who did this to them?
It's a little. I mean, there's at least some things that, like, as you're kind of looking through, some of it appears to be like ripped apart, like probably claws and such. At least one sword blow, like what went through the middle of that priest's chest, is consistent with the sword, and then you see fire on a bunch of the other ones. The thing is you're at a place where there's a good amount of magic in the area. Like I said, you got centaurs on Mount Pella, which is not Pella, Mount Pelion, which is not too far away. Like the Theban Tribunal is thick with magical creatures.
Okay. Well, now that we know that this was not any of our people, I say we head back to town, head back to the Covenant. We've got a lot to unpack yet and get prepared for the rest of the Magi to show up. Also, let the town... let's keep this quiet. I don't want everyone to know about it.
Do you mind
You
if
should tell
I...
Stevens, though, right?
Let's not.
Mr. Mage, sir, do you mind if I have a little gander?
A gander at what?
The bodies.
Sure, go ahead. If you can deduce anything, let me know.
I am going to strip them of all their valuables and whistle the whole time.
Yeah, as you're going through and looking, make a folk ken roll.
Absolutely. Okay. That's pretty good. It's a good stat for me.
It'd be a simple, not a holy.
Oh, God.
Oh, damn.
16.
I do make the sign of the cross before I touch the priest.
Yeah. So yeah, as you're going through, so a couple things. You know the people in this area. You're going through. Yeah. So on a simple roll, a 10 is a 10. On a stress die, 10 is a possible botch. As you're looking through,
One second, guys. I gotta be back in a second.
Okay.
As you're looking through, what you notice, one, you have the heads of a few different villages, of the kind of the smaller ones that are between here and Demetrius. A couple of them seem to have come kind of a decent ways. The priest that's here is also one of the priests of a nearby village. It is not hugely unusual for even the priest to kind of come out as though they still often leave offerings for things in the they often leave offerings for things in the woods and such, simply because it's a thing that a lot of them had to deal with, particularly from the outskirts of the woods. They don't have offerings with them. They've brought wards.
Okay.
Like, these are things to keep sort of magical creatures at bay. These are signs of protection. They didn't seem to help most of them. But yeah, the stuff they brought is not offerings with them. They have brought wards.
As I'm stuffing my pockets full, I am going to relay that to Xaldin. Just like, oh, some big names here, big faces. They're going to be missed. Might be a bit hard to keep this hidden. Some of the heads of the villages. No offerings, though, unfortunately. Just wards. More wards. Jesus, lots of wards on these ones.
I wonder what they were doing out here.
Something disrespectful.
Zal, make a magic lore roll. Or
Magic
not magic.
roll.
You don't have arcane, but make an intelligence roll.
I might change that.
Yeah, arcane lore is a thing that can
Simple or stress?
Simple.
Ooh, 11.
As you're looking over this stuff, these are things that are designed to get people to leave, to basically drive out. They don't tend to work. Like these are the kind of folk things that a lot of magical creatures will sometimes just stay away from because it's often less trouble. They don't particularly like them, but this is stuff that's trying to get them to leave, and they're not like magical creatures and such don't take kindly to people trying to drive them out of their own areas. Like you can feel the magic aura in this area. This is an ancient place. The cities will have divine auras, but like all the way through here, you've been like there's a healthy aura all throughout this area.
I wonder why they were trying to. Interesting. Let's destroy all these wards. Let's leave the ancient places to the ancients. And Xaldin's just gonna start like, I assume they're just wooden, right? They're not like.
Some of it's carved, some of it's stone. Some of these are things that they might have around a village that, for the most part, like a lot of magical creatures honor those around the village simply because they could wipe out villages if they wanted to, but it's usually not worth it. It's also often good just to have people nearby for food or magic or other things.
Okay. Yeah, he's just gonna be like, let's get rid of these. Let's not carry these through here. It's like trying to break them, as many of them as he can. It's like, don't carry these. This could be bad if you carry them through here. We don't want any part of this.
I'll start just tossing stuff. We should do something with these bodies, though.
I say leave them.
They're pretty well charred already, and I'm sure there's animals in this forest that will more than enjoy a free meal, so just leave them.
Might be a good warning to someone else who comes to try to put a ward here. At least however long the bodies last.
Agreed. Let's head back to the Covenant.
Michael, would Giselle know if like bringing some milk to the woods might be a good idea?
Could be. I mean, the thing is it depends on how much you're as Fae and how much you're as magical creature and such. It's usually best to find out what are the traditional things in this area, because each one will have their own sort of traditions as far as how they appease, if it's Fae or if it's something else.
All right, I'm gonna find Stevens and just start staring him down with and be like, what do you leave for those out in the woods?
Oh, very often we'll take part of a certain portion of the hunt. If we've gone hunting, we'll leave it for the creatures and such in the forest. Beyond that, most of them stay away. We see them occasionally in the distance, but we've not had too much problems with them. And
No
as far
milk,
as
no
we're
honey.
aware, nothing in the evenings when those who are transformed go out.
Nothing else traditional. No wine, no milk, no honey.
No, there's no real fae around this area. In most of the villages around here, you don't really have fae hitting until you're on the other side of Demetrius.
Hmm. I'm like that. And then I just turn and leave.
All right, so what do y'all do?
Hmm.
I think Xaldin is just gonna keep unpacking and like setting up his room,
Okay.
his area.
I guess I'm gonna go out hunting because I don't have anything to leave for anything in the woods.
Are you a hunter?
I am. I'm not good, but
Okay.
let's see if I can't catch something.
Go ahead and make a hunt roll. Save, are you doing anything in particular?
I'll probably go around town and see if I can ask about that other priest, see if anyone's seen him about where his last visits were.
Okay. Yeah, you head around, like you basically get on a horse and make a thing of the villages. Yeah, we'll say you managed to catch some stuff, Giselle, like some smaller things, not like a deer or anything like that. But you get some rabbits, things along those lines, and are able to leave some out. So Seva, as you sort of head to one of the villages, there are a number of people are sort of gathering in the little town square. Makes it sound more grand than this is. This is a very small farming village, and with a very small, like the farming area is essentially set aside from where the forest is. They usually don't touch the forest itself. They're able to go in and on the opposite side is where they tend to take wood and such, though they can go for sticks and other things and fallen trees. But it's they're gathering a bunch of people in the sort of town square as you arrive.
Oi, what's all this then?
One
Throwing
of them-
a festival.
And you're fairly familiar with these. It's one of those. Seva, has anything happened over at the old quarry?
The old quarry? Not that I know of. I was actually looking to speak with your alderman. He been about?
Yeah, there's one of the what a Greek name. Hymenios comes out. He goes, Seva, welcome.
Oh, I was thinking that their alderman or their elder was one of the ones that was charred in the forest.
Oh, in this one, there's a couple people. There's not
Okay.
just a single person.
Okay. Oh, hey. So, don't you usually have a couple of elders around, sort of a council?
We lost Robert's. Well, we don't know what happened. We're gonna go search for him.
Lost.
He went with a larger group. They stopped in here, had stayed part of the evening last night, or rather the night before, and then towards the evening they set out into the woods. There were one of the priests from Demetrius came through here, and what they're looking at trying to do is take down some of the forest. We don't touch the forest. We don't go into it. We go into it for woods and such, but we do not take axe to anything in there. We can hunt. We can be a part of it. We're left alone. And I told them it was a stupid idea, but the bunch of them went in. We're going to see if we can find them, but I don't have a lot of hope.
That does sound like a stupid idea. So this priest who's trying to get you to chop down the forest that we don't touch, that no one touches, that we know is a bad idea to touch. Anyone know where he's headed after? Has anyone seen? Did he mention where he was going, or?
Well, he'd come through a bunch of the villages, talked to the priests and such we have here. It turns to someone and just goes, What was that priest's name again? One of them just sort of looks up and then double checks. I made the mistake of moving where a few things were in here. We double check the name. Oh, Dean Arnold Victor. Dean is kind of like it's a religious rank at this time. So yeah, Dean would be one of those.
Dean Arnold Victor. All right, got that. So is this the search party then, or
There we go.
y'all just gathering for the hell of it?
No, we're gathering for the search party. We're going to see if we can find them. They were supposed to come back yesterday evening, but we heard things in the forest. Some say in the distance they saw some lights, but we didn't want to go out. We told them it was a stupid idea.
Right. Well, all the best. Please be safe. Don't die.
Just sort of nods.
All right. Can I get that name one more time? Sorry. That was Dean.
Dean Armel Victor.
Oh, okay. I totally had Arnold. All right.
I
Got
also
it.
heard Arnold.
Yep.
Michael, how much does the hunt? I rolled an 8, if you can see in the
Mhm.
chat.
Like I said, you managed to get some rabbits and some like nothing kind of huge in here. But as you collect that, you're able to leave an offering.
That's pretty good.
Good enough.
Yeah.
Maybe
Like
maybe it does nothing, but
Like a 9 is considered like an average roll. So 6 is easy. Like basically, it goes up by 3s. From simple, easy, average, and then hard, very hard, impressive, etc. All right, Save. What do you do?
I am going to go back to base and relay that information. I don't. Do they look like they're about to head like the right way towards where those bodies are going to be?
They seem like they know what direction it was.
Oh, okay. There's probably not much I can do to throw them off the trail. I'll just leave it alone.
Okay.
besides, they knew what was going to happen. They might have some questions about why they're naked, but
Right, and why, like, hey, where'd all of their rings go? And all of their, like, other valuables. Hey, doesn't this guy have a crucifix? Oh,
not anymore.
I have it.
Werewolves must have taken them.
Yeah. So Save. Did you check out some other things and then head back, or do you go straight back, or what?
Yeah, I'll just check. I'll probably check in with other villages on the way back, but I'm asking the same questions. It's
Yeah,
just
you,
like,
you find out essentially the
priest.
same things as you take sort of a circuit throughout.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and then I'll head back.
Right. So you get back, everyone's been kind of getting work and such done. And
Oi,
then-
Magi.
Hmm?
Oh, sorry. Were we transitioning?
No, I'll say go ahead.
Magi Xaldin. Got some
Yes.
more intel for you.
Speak away.
That priest that's been trying to gather folk to clear the forest. Dean Armel Victor. He's gotten a lot of the village heads wrapped up in all this, and a lot of the holy men too.
Does he?
Indeed, he does. They are going to find those bodies very quickly, actually.
Well, I mean, if they find them, they find them. Why are they going? I mean, it is daytime, but I wish they wouldn't go into the woods. I wish you would all the people would stay out of the woods. But do you have any leads on where this Dean is?
Dean Armel.
Yes.
Not as such. He's hit a lot of villages. Sort of got a rough idea that he's in the area, but not much more than that.
What? So I guess this is more a question for Michael. Sava would probably know all the villages.
They told
because
you he
they're-
was from Demetrius, which is Demetrius is the
right.
is the nearby city.
Yeah.
But
I just meant,
he's
are
not
there any
in
of-
Demetrius? Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Are there any of the villages that were not mentioned? Yet.
Say, but you had checked things out. You'd
Uh-huh.
gone through and found kind of similar things in each of the villages.
Okay, but I think like if I understand where Steve is going with this, are there other villages that have not been mentioned that it's like, oh, he's probably going to go there next, like we could catch him there or head him off
Oh,
there.
sorry. At this point, I mean, if he's gotten this close, because essentially, if he's gotten near the one near y'all, he's probably hit the other ones already. Because you saw people
Okay.
from a bunch of the
He's-
different ones.
He's probably coming here next, assuming he doesn't know we're a high.
Demetrius has a tendency to stay away from the quarry because there are lots of there's lots of bad legends and concerns about the people in this area. Y'all get left
Mm.
alone pretty handily. Like the only thing is you're able to collect tolls as people come through.
Okay. Well, it's possible he's done in the area. Might have gone back to Demetrius.
Right. Is there any other people in the villages that you've gone to that seem to be heading into the woods?
A lot of them, yes. They're going into the woods to. Oh, do you mean like not just now, but like to clear the woods more?
Yes, like to clear the woods.
Most of those folks are dead right now. Might be more, but a lot of those ones are pretty well done.
Potentially, a lesson has been learned.
Most
Well-
everyone understands not to go into the woods and not to touch the trees in the woods.
And sometimes we need reminders.
Well, they're going to find a bunch of charred bodies, which means they're going to probably have their reminders. Um, this sounds like a non-issue until it's an issue, so if you hear anything else, let me know. For the time being, I think we're getting settled in pretty well.
Michael, is this something that Giselle should maybe go investigate potentially, like in Demetrius?
Possibly. Do you want to take a quick bio break?
Sure.
Here?
Okay.
Okay. We will be back here shortly. Let me hit this here.
Walklin. Walklin.
And we are back. All right. So
Where are we off to? Where are we off to?
Where are
Am I
we?
answering?
Yeah, you found the bodies. You discovered that what's going on. You got things messing with the forest.
I did my report.
Yeah.
I guess I would really just be like hanging about, waiting to see if anything fell into my lap. But I've kind of exhausted all of my export, or I've asked questions of people. Is our goal to try and find this guy?
Oh, just a moment. Steve, check your... the chat.
Mm. Secrets.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess out of character, I'm not sure like what I can do to follow up on that. Like I don't know where the priest would be, which is what I want to do.
Demetrius.
And
Oh,
Demetrius.
okay.
Like
Yeah.
he's from Demetrius. Like that's the local lord. That would probably be the place to
Okay.
check.
That's what
I
I'm
think-
missing.
I think
All right.
Giselle's already dragging you down there. She's like, Beryl, come with me. I'm dragging this guy down to Demetrius.
All right.
Yes,
We're gonna ask some fucking questions.
Xaldin is gonna be like, we're not going without Seva. I've come to appreciate his talents.
Also, all
Well, there's
those
only so many people we can
crucifixes
call on.
made of.
And I'll say,
pretty penny
sort of out of
ornaments.
character, if Giselle and Beryl, there's some stuff we can do at the Covenant while they're dealing with the stuff there. And Demetrius, if the two of you want to do that.
I'll just make that call. Giselle, Beryl, I want you to stay here and continue getting everything prepped. Seva and I and Cassie will be fine.
Oh,
Right.
yay. I love hanging with Beryl.
Oh, I love hanging with you too. It is so fun.
Michael,
Mhm.
would I be able to get like 4 of our veteran soldiers to come with us?
Yeah. If you want,
like,
Mhm.
yeah. Like, I
It's
don't
a
want a whole
great game.
retinue of people, but like
just a few.
4
Yeah,
guards with us. Like,
You grab some of those, and it's far enough away. It's not hugely far away, but you'll be gone for a day or two. The two of you, as the two of you take off, things sort of settle down in the Covenant a lot. And Beryl, there's a place where Giselle should probably meet the artist in residence, Daedalus.
Giselle, you should meet our head artist. He's a very fine man. His name's Daedalus.
Oh. I've heard good things.
He's incredible. He's very talented. He works with wax and with marble. Come.
Any wood? I heard the story about the bull.
Oh, yes. Sometimes he's very talented indeed. So I take her down to the conservatory.
Okay. So you look for him a little bit. He's got a workshop that's a little bit deeper in the sort of maze-like structure of what the old quarry, as they're kind of going into the newer parts of it, at least the parts that are being mined. And he's in his workshop, and he's got like some large sheets in front of him. He's sort of doing some drawing. You see something sort of half built there, as he's looks like to be in his like late 40s, early 50s, like kind of well kept, muscular, like in good shape, for someone who's quite possibly 2,000 years old.
Daedalus, I have someone for you to meet.
Beryl, what sort of artist is Beryl? Do you work with
She's a painter.
marble and such painter? 'Cause...
She's a painter.
Beryl, how are your studies coming?
Oh, very well indeed, sir.
I'll have to see what you're doing. Who's this? You look official.
This is Giselle. She is a scribe for the Magi.
Charmed.
Magi are here, huh? Matter of time, I suppose. Scribe, so you can read.
Yes, quite a bit. And right.
Excellent. That'll be a nice change of
Good
things. Here, take a seat. And he something to drink?
Yeah, Giselle like takes milk or something.
Okay. And the three of you are sort of talking for a bit. He kind of just talks a little bit about what people are doing here. He just kind of takes you also through the business of what they do with the mines, like how the people are working, all that kind of stuff. And then there is a point where he just sort of sits up straight, just like eyes just sort of go wide for a moment, and you hear like two things sort of happen almost at once. Like a partridge sort of lands in one of the windows and starts like almost like I don't know what noise a partridge makes, but yeah, and like seems like directly at Daedalus, and then you hear some screams from sort of further in the mine, and he just goes, Matter of time, I suppose. Xaldin Seva. We're going to be a little out of sync time-wise. So Demetrius is a large port city. It is like it's kind of like almost set up in a grid system. Really nice place. You've got kind of like there's like a royal palace and such there. You've got like a large amphitheater up on the hill. It is sort of a bustling area.
Okay.
And the thing is, you know that there's a good chance there's a priest that's been sent around. They're probably in sort of the main temple, like the main church, or kind of in the sort of royal palace itself.
All right. So how are the people reacting to a guy with or two guys with 4 soldiers and a tiger walking into town?
The soldiers don't really draw that much attention. The tiger, however, does get a lot of people just like what is that? And a lot of people like a little more freaked out about that aspect of it. They're giving you a wide berth.
Okay. I'm gonna flag someone down. Good sir. Good sir.
They keep it a distance.
Where might the temple be? The primary temple.
Oh, the church, and kind of points. It's over by the it's over by like the small palace. Palace seems like a grander word than it is, but essentially that.
Okay.
Over there, and then it's just like your tiger is like, just sort of looking, and it's making noises. They're not like upset noises, but a lot of people don't get to hear tigers, so they don't know. Seva, have you been? What's been your relationship with the tiger so far this last like 24 hours?
I think once I finally became convinced that it wasn't an elaborate ruse and that the mage was not the tiger and vice versa, I think it's been pretty solid. I think I just kind of built that rapport with the tiger thinking I was talking to the mage. And I don't think that disappeared.
Yeah.
I am just fully talking at it.
Like
I talk at it like it's a person. Yeah.
Cassie takes some liking to Seva.
Yeah, that's fine.
Probably just
Yeah,
nice.
Cassie's
she's a cool
intelligent.
guy when she sees one.
All right. So I was thinking, you're kind of like a big lion, you know? It's like a kind of a 600-pound lion. That's cool.
No, she's a tiger. There's a difference.
It's a big cat, isn't it?
Yeah. We're gonna head to the temple.
So as you get closer to like the and these usually I think even then they call them churches as opposed to temples more often, because temples would be the older. They still do have enough of the old temples, even though the old gods aren't worshipped at this point, but those still exist. Yeah, as you're on your way there, there's a point as you kind of get towards it. There are some guards because it is kind of close to the palace, and there's some other ones as they're sort of watching, and then there's a group of guards that sort of are marching their way towards y'all, but keeping some distance. Like, halt! Why are you bringing? How are you bringing that thing into the city?
Xaldin just like, what thing? What are you speaking of?
What am I speaking? The cat.
Oh, Cassandra, Cassie.
And there's some other guards running up on like kind of the side, and you notice they've all got bows and arrows.
What do you? She won't hurt you. She's tame. She's my pet.
They kind of get, and they're just like, "Can you put that thing inside of a cage, or we'll have to kill it?"
You're kidding me. Seva, would you be so kind as to take Cassie back out of the city and sit with her till I'm done with my business?
Oh, I can do that. Should I take her by the stables? Does she?
One of the guards sort of looks and goes, "I can take it."
Oh, one of our guards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So we're down to 3. Got
okay.
it.
Yes. He's walking her out, and he's gonna literally talk in tiger to her, like, Cassie, be a good girl, go outside. I'll be back shortly. Don't worry about me.
Okay. Yeah, the other guard kind of like walks it out. Yeah, this is one where a tiger going into a city is going to draw, especially it's not caged. A leash wouldn't be a thing they'd probably even consider would hold something like that back. Like one coming in that's not caged, and then also have guards around it, is going to cause people to call guards.
Okay.
Yeah, as they sort of take it in, and the guards as that kind of goes, the guards sort of walk up and goes, like looks at your other guard. Your guards are clearly like they're well outfitted. They're decently well outfitted. Kind of notes and goes, "What kind of a person brings a tiger and 3 Seva? You've you've been around. You know."
Yeah.
You know some of the people in the, like they don't know necessarily you're a spy, but they would just know you because it kind of helps you to know everybody.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Seva, what's happening here?
Right. My friend here is sort of an exotic, important person, and we're here to meet with some other important people. I'm here on a job.
Who are you hoping to meet?
A couple of folk. Perhaps a priest. Your priest.
The Dean?
Yeah.
Dean Victor?
Dean Armel. Dean Armel Victor.
Yeah. Let's go. We'll let him know. Wait here for a moment. Some of them go back in. Giselle, Beryl, you hear the screaming, kind of coming from further into the quarry itself. Daedalus is just sort of with a heavy sigh, sort of turned, looked that way, and just sort of like pinches his brow.
Is this something I recognize? Do I recognize the screaming? Do I know what this is?
No, this isn't. This is not something you're aware of. Like usually things are usually fairly peaceful in this area. Like there's places in the forest and such you shouldn't go probably at night if you can help it. But like here, this is always what's going to come from here. This is in the quarry. This is a hard place to get into. There are guards, and you've got Pegasus that like fly past.
I take it that's not a good screaming.
No. And then like you hear people running sort of outside Daedalus' doors, like running past.
I think, do we get up and follow?
I'm going to follow Daedalus's lead because I do believe him to be 2,000 years old. So I'm like, this guy's got good instincts about this.
Daedalus opens the door, and then steps like towards it. You see people kind of running past. It's a monster! It's a monster! They're kind of running past, and Daedalus just like steps out and like turns the opposite way and just sort of looks at you sadly and goes, "Not all my children are blood, but most of them return."
What does that mean?
This thing to say.
What does that mean?
One of my previous sins is returned. And the partridge is just going nuts in the window.
Is the bird talking to you?
He'll do that. And then he starts walking like again in like further deep into it where like the screaming and the running are coming from.
Beryl, what's your take on this?
I think we should stop him. I think you should stop him.
I'm not in charge of him, so let's... Vamonos.
Okay. All right.
Seems ill-advised on Giselle's part, but... People need to be managed.
So, Giselle, you're running away?
I mean, I was...
Or are you going to try to get Daedalus to...
Yeah, I think even though the fear instincts, I'm very curious. Like, I want to see what this is.
I think Beryl is kind of following after him. Just so you know, Beryl's kind of small and frail looking. She's definitely an indoorsy type.
Don't worry, I'll put your body in front of mine if it comes down to it.
I don't know if that summons any like protective nature in Giselle whatsoever, but
no.
Yeah, as you kind of like rush after, Daedalus is kind of as he's walking towards it, you hear some people screaming, and then you see a body get like thrown and just slams into a wall with a sickening crunch. As you see someone that you have known, Beryl, your entire life just stops having any animation in them at all as they hit the ground like a thing as opposed to a person. And
I
then
grabbed Daedalus. I grabbed Daedalus on. I turned him from me. What is it attacking them?
and you hear over it, and it is about 9 feet tall. The horns of it are actually like just about scraping some of the tunneled out thing of the marble that it's coming out of, and just head of a bull, body of a sort of a gigantic human, and just sits there and looks at you just like, and then just like steam kind of pours out of its nostrils as it stares down the two of you. Xaldin and Seva, you are brought in to speak with Dean. He comes out and meets you sort of in like on basically in the church. It's a fairly fancy big church, and it's got like one of those long rows with the pews on either side. And he meets you like towards the entrance, and goes just as he walks up and goes, "I understand that the two of you are something quite special, something strange. Animals seem to obey your commands, from what I've been told."
Yeah, yes, that would be the case. I have a pet tiger. Everybody seemed to be taken aback by that.
Gods told me you not only a pet tiger, you spoke to it?
Yes. What was it? Oh, forget.
Seva, would you also know the clergy? Like, you probably know guards and other stuff. Would you know Dean Armel?
I don't think that Seva goes to church a lot.
Okay.
So, the reason we're here, let's cut the chit chat and get right to the point. It's been brought to my attention that you've been going around the villages of Apano, what's our thing called again?
Apano Maria. I don't know who got that name. Is that how it's pronounced?
Yeah.
Apano Maria or Maria?
Honor Maria, maybe. I think you had it.
I've been told that you were going around the villages around Apano Maria and telling them to go into the woods to cast out the things in there.
First of all, I don't have to answer to you. Second of all, the old quarry? That place has been abandoned for... I mean, people live around that area, but hard to call it a place. I'm not sending people anywhere. We've been speaking with people. Who are you? Why is this business of yours?
Well, I've taken up residence there, and there are 3 companions of mine. What 3 acquaintances of mine that are going to be taking up residence there as well. And it would be quite nice if you would not tell our village people to go into the woods where they don't belong.
I'm not aware of any place where you two have any sort of authority over me at all.
No, I don't have any authority over you, but I think it's in the best interest of my villagers that people stay out of the woods, not go in there. Because a group of people that were under your advisement to go in with wards that I believe you provided them were massacred.
I pull out a bunch of the crucifixes.
And he just looks over those, and there's just a moment where as he looks over, he goes, "I sent no one into the woods. We're going to be basically chopping down portions of that forest. And I told them we're going to go in to bless it for the. And then you hear footsteps behind you, like a bunch of footsteps behind you. And a moment later, they're like there's a heads of the guards. One of them steps forward and kind of gives a bit of a bow and goes, I want you to give me just a moment. This will be audible on the thing. I'm trying to remember how to pronounce this word, this name, because at this point, a lot of the Frankish people have after Constantinople fell, were given lordships. So let me just get the name right.
Vauclin.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. I'm sorry, I got that wrong. One of them steps forward and goes, Vauclin, Earl of Demetrius, has arrived. And the man kind of comes in with a bit of a limp. This is a soldier if you've ever seen one. This is someone who's also seen some combat. Like you can see some of the scars on him. And he just looks and goes, I understand we've had a bit of a commotion, and just sort of looks over at the two of you. Back at the quarry.
I think as the Minotaur like just approaches, I think that's when Beryl gets the initiative to run.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna grab Beryl. Is there anywhere I could hide potentially? I know it's a maze, but like,
well, there are some homes and such that. Well, there's the workshop here. There's not homes in this area, but there's some buildings. There's also, I mean, most people are just running straight for basically straight for where all the homes and such are, like basically out of the quarry. Like what you saw go past you was miners mostly.
I'm gonna give it a shot. I want to try to find somewhere for us to hide because it's not like he's hunting us.
All right, you can go back to Daedalus's workshop, or do you go elsewhere?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay, Beryl. Okay. As you go in, you just like, are you kind of like peeking through the window? Like I'm assuming it's got like some of the windows let air and such in. Is it just kind of comes up and it comes where it's just standing about yay far away from Daedalus, and Daedalus just looks up at it, and dude's not moving. And it just sort of looks down, and it actually, the snort it makes actually like parts his hair some as it's close enough, and then it's very odd to see something with a non-human mouth speak human words. As the Minotaur just goes, much tribute will be paid. And Daedalus just looks up at him and goes, that's never gonna happen. And there's just a moment where he just looks and then points over towards the window where you're at. What are you to do?
I'm gonna look at Daedalus straight into the eyes. Do I have enough time to make? Are we far enough apart that I can make eye contact with him?
Yeah. You're in another building. If you actually go up to the you're sort of like trying to look through it's one of those things where just you can't quite see the pointing exactly, but the way its shoulder and such is moved, just because you're in a position where you can just see it pointing. Probably because it's also so fucking huge.
Wait, actually, Michael, secondary question. Do I feel that my magical abilities might work on my cow brethren?
Which abilities?
In entrancement.
It's a possibility.
Okay, too risky. Going for Daedalus. I'm gonna stare into Daedalus's eyes and for a couple of seconds and try to will him to be like, not us, anyone but us.
Do you call his name or something?
I don't have to.
Well,
you have the power to.
He's not really looking your way. The thing is, I'm assuming you're not like at the window like this.
Yeah.
Both of you. I'm assuming you're sort of far enough back that you can see out there, but like catching his eye contact because he's mostly looking straight up, like he's defying this thing. Do you want to?
All right. I got worried because he said tribute and then started pointing near us, so I'm like, Beryl, Beryl, what's your read on this? Do we keep running, keep hiding?
Hide.
Do you want to both take off?
Yeah, I guess let's find a different hiding spot.
Okay, both make an athletics check.
Which would I roll for that?
If you don't have athletics, go ahead and roll Dex.
Pretty good.
Now, if I have athletics, but it's specifically for dance, do I still roll athletics?
No, it just means you don't get the +1 for your... The thing is, that's your specialty. You still have athletics beyond that.
Yay.
Okay, yeah, you do go out the other door and just start running. I'll say, Giselle, you're able to get a bit ahead. Beryl, you're kind of taking up some of the area behind. As are the two of you just like running for, like out where, like trying to get the hell out of the mines, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the two of you at this point just, and then just start booking ass to sort of get away. Xaldin's Seva.
Yeah.
Jacqueline looks at you.
Hi, hello. I'm Xaldin. What seems to be the issue?
I heard there was a disturbance, and then Dean Armel looks over and goes, apparently they want us to not go into the woods, not cut down what we need for more agriculture. They're at the old quarry. And Jacqueline sort of looks and goes, all right, you're staying at the quarry. That's fine. It's not been used in a long time. We've heard that people have, there's people live in that area. We've heard there's been some work and such there. But who is this that brings a tiger into the city?
Oh, that would be me as well.
Save, have you ever met the Earl of Demetrius?
I'm looking through my stats to see if that makes sense. I don't see any. Well, okay, I've got some etiquette and nobility. Maybe I'd at least be familiar.
It's kind of your job to know a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
in this
I
area.
should know things and know people.
And he looks and just goes, "Save, have you been up at the old quarry?"
I have. Good work up there. Good folk.
Heard rumors that things have been starting up again. We have no problem with the quarry being started up again. The taxes and such will be good. However, I don't see where it's any business of anyone's what we do in the forests.
Oh, so, see, that's the thing. There's a thing that happens when we go into the old places that we shouldn't.
At which point,
People die.
Dean just goes, people die because they do not have the power of God with them. I do.
There's a couple dead priests in those woods that say otherwise.
Couple dead priests. What? Dead priests. Oh, so you saw one dead priest. So I don't know. I don't know if you want to say couple. You can if you wish.
I'll lie.
Yeah.
If not for lying, I mean the world would be a more boring place.
Dead priests. What do they do?
Don't know. Saw them when they were already dead.
Well, that's quite simple. They walked in with artifacts to push the wild out, and the wild fought back. That's why I'm saying it's in your best interest to stay out of those woods.
Dean turns to Jacqueline and just goes, I told them not to do anything until I was there. I can keep those things at bay. Some of them talk about wanting to deal with it the old ways. We deal with it the new way. I'll go in myself. We'll bless those forests. We'll drive them from there and let that dominion return to us.
And who do you think you are that you could go in and fight them? That woods is ancient. It's far more powerful than you.
Doesn't have to be more powerful than me. I have God on my side. I have seen the things in the forest, and I have seen them retreat before me.
Well, I just came to give you a friendly warning that it's not in your best interest to go in those woods.
And Jacqueline just sort of looks and goes, who are you to be giving warnings like this? Person I don't even know, Xaldin?
I am
What are you,
currently
some old man of the forest?
let's just say I know a lot about the wilderness. But I've taken up residence at the quarry, and villages around there lost a lot of good men, and I would prefer it if they did not lose more good men and women.
Dean just goes, "They won't. We'll take the soldiers in there. We'll make sure that that place gets blessed, torn down, so we can make more farmland, which we will need."
Well, this will be interesting to see. Sorry for bothering you at this time. He's gonna look right at the Earl and be like, "Am I free to go now?"
This crazy man of the woods can go back to his quarry.
Just out of question, is there like any mice or anything around? Like, are there any animals nearby? Is
Sure.
there a plant?
Mhm.
Like, is there a
Oh yeah,
plant?
there's some plants. There's always mice and stuff nearby.
All right. Xaldin is I'm gonna look for the nearest plant and just be like, I'm not just some old man in the woods, and I'm going to cast
Can I
herbal.
give you a small suggestion?
Sure.
Get out of the church while you do it. It's bad enough to do that in
Okay.
doing that in a city is always going to be a little more difficult. The church is going to have a higher, like if you leave the church and get out of it, you just have a divine aura of 3. That is going to interfere with what you're doing.
Okay.
That's one of the reasons mages stay out of cities more often. But yeah, if you do it in the church, that's going to be a much more difficult thing to pull off.
Okay. In that case, yeah, he's just gonna be like, he's gonna walk out of the church and just like kind of shaking his head, turn to them. I'm not just some crazy old man from the woods. And I'm outside of the church now. I'm gonna just make a shrub move with magic, with my herbal locomotion spell.
Okay.
Can it do a little dance?
Yeah, I'm gonna make it like, no, this one can actually uproot itself. I did the spell that can make it uproot and like walk to the other side and plant itself.
So depending, like if you want to give yourself a little bit of a bonus here, because you are going to be fighting the aura, and the aura is going to make it more difficult. If you make it like bigger gestures and bigger gestures and louder, so people can kind of tell, you can get a +2 to your roll from that.
Yeah, he's going all out with this, and I assume that's stress die, right?
Yeah, because divine aura, it's 3 times the aura, so it's gonna. Or let me do this real quick. Let me do that. As you get a little bit further away from it, we're gonna lower that. So yeah, go ahead and what is the level of the spell?
It is a 15.
Okay.
So stress die roll. Oof. God dang.
Okay, so on this one, what did you roll? So that is because unfortunately it's so like, do you want to spend some confidence? We'll bring it up to the point where you can do it. It's gonna cost the stress or the fatigue.
So it'll be 2 confidence to get it up, right?
1, because basically if you get -1, you're still
okay
at 10.
Yeah, let's do that. I gain 1 fatigue level, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it does that automatically. Yep.
Yeah. So we'll say as it gets up and just sort of moves across, there's just a bunch of people like start to kind of freak out a little bit. The guards like, what the deviltry is that? And then Yaku just sort of looks at you and goes, mages. Let's cut back to the the quarry. Yeah, the 2 of you sort of run out. You see several of the Pegasi riders. There's a couple of them that were sort of already in the air, and they're rushing down towards where y'all are at.
Help us!
What is it? What was down there? Everyone else is sort of like fled. You're the last 2 that are coming out.
It's a monster with horns, and Daedalus was going. He asked for a tribute, and Daedalus was walking toward it.
Half man, half bull.
Sweet Jesus Christ!
What is that thing.
He makes a thing. He goes, "That's Daedalus. That would be the Minotaur." And there's just this, like the thing is that unfortunately, like taking Pegasus into the mines, the best place for it. As they gather up some more, and you see some like the soldiers rushing their way down. Daedalus at one point it's like you see him walking out, sort of on his own. Sort of stops and just sort of like looks and goes, "He's gone for the moment. He will return."
Just stop him.
Like I said, not all of my children are my blood, but they are my children. And most of them return.
Giselle makes a note can we move Daedalus somewhere? Just bring it up to his face because that seems doesn't seem like the right time.
Do you ask him? Oh yeah. He looks over at Beryl and goes, "You got a good look at him?"
Yes.
We have a new subject to paint, I suppose. It'll be some time before he returns. But at some point he will. This is not the place that birthed him, but these stones were his home for a long time.
Oh, this is good. So were they lying earlier when they said that stuff doesn't usually go wrong, or did Zealot did we pick a very bad day to show up?
Do you ask Beryl that?
I think I'm only asking Beryl, and if Daedalus is within earshot, also Daedalus.
Beryl, this is the first time that something like this has happened.
Ooh, great.
I'm sorry about this, Miss Giselle. It's not a very warm welcome for your arrival here.
It's fine, honestly. It's not even one of the worst days I've ever had.
You arrive at a new home and there's a monster. I'm not sure you have much worse.
I mean, everyone brings their own ghosts with them.
I suppose.
Sometimes that's literal.
Come, let's make it to the surface.
Yes. We might need to find the Magi and let him know that we got a lot more to deal with.
Xaldin Seva. He actually invites you to the into the palace itself. And Jacqueline gets a moment to kind of try to pull Seva aside a bit and goes, "How many of these are there supposed to be at the quarry?" Oh, was I audible? I don't know if I was. Am I coming through?
Ibrahim?
Oh, no. Yeah, sorry.
Oh.
How many of what?
How many of these are there supposed to be at the quarry?
I'm sorry. Am I missing something? How many?
He is. He's looking. He's looking at Xaldin.
Okay.
Oh. That's not information that we should share with them. That's not their business. $70 million Magi are at the quarry right now.
7 billion Magises. It's gonna be lie.
Steve, are you gonna lie?
I thought he was asking Seva.
No, he's asking Seva.
Oh, he's asking.
Never mind.
Wait, why would I know that?
No, because he's pulled you aside a little bit because at least you're in that area.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. I didn't.
Sorry. Yeah, Jacqueline's asking.
I thought you said he's looking at Xaldin, and I was like, oh.
No. When he asks you that, he's kind of his eyes kind of flash over.
Okay.
To
How many
Xaldin.
of those?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Don't really know. Thought the tiger was one of them. Still do. Probably 10.
10. The two of them sort of come with you. Got both Dean and Jacqueline with you, and you get to a place, kind of brings in some food and such, and just they're sort of sitting there, and he goes, "So you and other mages are coming here to this town?"
Yes, indeed. We are reestablishing it, as it were.
And goes, "You realize there are taxes and such involved?"
We are quite aware of that.
We'd spoken with some of the foremen and the people that are doing that there, but there is a problem. We need better farmland in this area that right now is at a bit of a premium. And what we were going to do was be taking care of, well, chopping out some of the land so that we could have more of that, build up some more out there. What is the problem that's going to happen with us when we're there?
Oh, oof. Out of character. Xaldin, is this one of the ancient places of the ancestors? Would he know that?
I mean, so the thing is the Demon Tribunal is full of those things, and
Okay.
the more people chop into it, the more of that gets sent away and sent back. Like it's this is one of the more magical places in Europe.
Okay. So he doesn't want to lie. He wants to be honest. He would actively be trying to stop them. He's not going to tell them that. But would he know that this place would actively try to massacre them?
It will fight back. Like the things in there will fight, because like this area is like when you're out there, it's not a place of fae, which means it's magical creatures. Fae kind of go by their own thing. Magical creatures know often to avoid people because they also know church and humans and such are problems, but they will fight back.
Well, what's going to happen is the magical creatures in that forest are going to fight you tooth and nail. They've already been pushed back into there. What we saw two nights ago was a complete and utter massacre. I don't think any of them even got a shot off before they were all dead. They're in a tiny little bubble because people keep pushing them farther and farther back. It's only a matter of time before they explode.
And Dean rather just goes, but we do need the land. We do need places to farm, unless your people can help with that.
Would our covenant have places that we could allow them to farm that are already
not in that area? It is possible, it's possible to do some magic possibly to help out with that, though I don't know if anyone has a spell right now that would. I mean, there's some things you could do with fields and probably learn pretty quickly.
I have some herbalism, so I could theoretically do some magic. But well, if you were to stay out of the forests, leave that forest alone, I could make your growth better than it was. I could double the production of your plants.
And he looks over at the dean and just goes, how's the church feel about this? And the dean just sort of is looking at you and goes, I've heard it's difficult to speak to most mages. I've heard that it's puts people off. That doesn't strike me to be true of you.
That is normally the case with most of them. For some reason, I have a sunnier disposition.
And he just kind of nods for a moment and just looks over and goes, the church is often arguing about mages. Many of them are I don't know if they're good Christians, but at least swear by by God. If they can help. And so like Demetrius just looks and goes, I know it may take you some time to get settled, but if you're able to help us, we might be able to form. We might have a reason not to have to go into those woods.
Give us a little bit of time. I just arrived 3 days ago. I need to get settled and get prepared, and then I will come back. Once the other mages have arrived, I'll speak with them as well, and we will make a plan to work with you. But currently, like I said, if you make the deal to stay out of the forest, we will make sure that your crops are bountiful.
Okay. Kind of nods, and as you sort of shake hands and are leaving, at one point he just goes, Seva, you may have a moment.
Right. I'll be right along, Sir Xaldin. And I'll go aside with him.
And Yaklin dismisses Dean. The Dean just looks at you and goes, I'm assuming you're working for them, clearly.
For the moment.
I know you. I trust you. I'd rather work in diplomacy with you as opposed to others. Can we set that up?
We can certainly arrange that.
Save it.
Perhaps some regular communications and what do you just want me to keep an eye on them?
If there's problem, I've heard a lot of different stories about mages. If this threatens the people there, know that I will do everything I can to protect them. If we remain friends, it makes it easier to know if there's a problem.
Well, I can certainly keep an eye out, but it might be hard, expensive perhaps, to make the trip all the way up here.
I can see to that. I'll send information soon, along with some coin.
Then we have ourselves an arrangement.
And back at, like, I'm assuming this way you go back to the. Okay. Yep. Beryl and Giselle, you'll see as like there's the funeral is happening. They're burying, like, only one person died from this. Like, the rest of them kind of ran. A few people got hurt. Not like they. Essentially, as this thing like punched and actually shattered parts of a wall, got hit with like some of the chips from it, little cuts and such there, but only one of them got literally picked up and thrown, and that's the one you saw.
Oh, so we saw the only guy die.
Yeah.
Such a shame. I know him.
Xaldin, Seva, and the other guards are making their way. You see the funeral that's taking place across the way from it. There's, as you're on your way back.
Gonna seek out Giselle.
Master, it has been not a successful time without you.
I see this. What exactly happened here?
There is a minotaur.
What? By there is a minotaur. What exactly does that mean? That's quite cryptic.
I think you've seen my tail, so like my tail kind of pops out, and I'm like half man, half bull.
Okay. So there's a minotaur here?
He left after punching through some walls, killing a guy, confronting his father, who was apparently Daedalus, you knew Daedalus was here, right?
I was privy to that knowledge, yes.
Yeah, Daedalus is here. He's been hunting him, presumably for 2,000 years. We should maybe ask Daedalus how he's dealt with this in the past. And maybe if we need to move Daedalus, I don't know. But the Minotaur's here now, and he's gone, and Daedalus said that he would be back. He is looking for tribute. I don't know what that means. Seems just like a fancy word for getting revenge on your dad.
I would make it a point to speak with Daedalus in the future. Currently,
Yep.
we have much to discuss with the other mages when they arrive. Come with me. I need you to write shit down.
I'll set up an itinerary.
Once
See-
you're ready, he just starts telling you everything that happened at Dionys or wherever that was.
And Saba, you see Beryl is Beryl handling this well?
Sorry, one more time.
Is Beryl handling this well?
Not really.
Yes, Saba, you see Beryl not necessarily like taking it pretty poorly.
Yeah.
You look like you've seen a ghost.
I saw a friend die.
Oh. Well, I feel like a prick. What? Yeah, I don't have much of anything for that. I'm sorry.
I knew this place was. I knew there were things here, but I didn't understand there was monsters.
That Minotaur thing they were talking about over there?
Yes.
Yeah.
I learn under Daedalus. He never said a thing about it, and I don't know what to do.
Well, you know what I do when I feel all these big feelings coming up? Drink them down.
Probably sounds like a good place to fade to black.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let us know where we can find
Remember.
folks.
Beryl learns appropriate coping skills.
She's an artist, of
Alcoholism.
course. She's an artist. My name is Sarah. I'm Powerful Week on TikTok and Powerful Week almost everywhere else.
Hello, I am Nessa. I'm also Loch Nessa, LOCHNEASSA. I'm mostly on TikTok if you want to see videos of me complaining about other people's Halloween costumes.
Hi, I'm Steve. I'm the Dragon X. You can find me every Friday at Beards and Barbarians here on Twitch. You can find me tomorrow playing Fabula Ultima here on Twitch as well on the Ronin's Den podcast and TikTok as well.
I am Ibrahim. You may not find me.
All right. I'm Improv GN just about everywhere, and we will catch you all later.